Capeville clearance. Good afternoon. Europa 3219er ready for pushback at Alpha 4.
Gulf Air 6358 clear to land runway 35 right.
Europa 3219er cleared for pushback. Capeville ground. Europa 3219er ready to taxi. Europa 3219er taxi to runway 35 left. Capeville Tower. Europa 3219er request to cross runway. Europa 3219er continue taxi.
Indonesia 9005 cleared for pushback.
Capeville ground. Europa 3219er with you.
Capeville Tower. Good evening. Spinnaker 7348 is on approach. Spinnaker 7348 cleared to land runway 35 right.
Europa 3219er cleared for takeoff runway 35 left.
Gulf Air 6358 taxi to gate Alpha 4. Indonesia 9005 taxi to runway 35 right.
Transnorth 1462 cleared to land runway 35 left.
Capeville clearance. Good evening. FedEx 1735 ready for pushback at Charlie 4. FedEx 1735 ready for pushback.
Capeville Tower. Indonesia 9005 ready for takeoff runway 35 right. Indonesia 9005 cleared for takeoff runway 35 right.
Capeville ground. FedEx 1735 ready to taxi.
Capeville ground. Spinnaker 7348 requesting taxi to the gates.
FedEx 1735 taxi to runway 35 left.
Spinnaker 7348 taxi to gate Bravo 3.
Capeville ground. Transnorth 1462 taxi to the gates. Transnorth 1462 taxi to gate Charlie 4.
Capeville Tower. FedEx 1735 request to cross runway. FedEx 1735 continue taxi. Capeville ground. FedEx 1735 with you.
Asiana 8823 cleared for pushback.
Capeville Tower. FedEx 1735 ready for takeoff runway 35 left. FedEx 1735 cleared for takeoff runway 35 left.
Asiana 8823 taxi to runway 35 left.
Transnorth 1462 continue taxi. Capeville ground. Transnorth 1462 with you.
Capeville Tower. Good evening. KLM 8668 is on approach. KLM 8668 cleared to land runway 35 right.
Asiana 8823 continue taxi. Capeville ground. Asiana 8823 with you.
EVA 1905 cleared for pushback. Capeville ground. EVA 1905 ready to taxi.
Asiana 8823 cleared for takeoff runway 35 left.
EVA 1905 taxi to runway 35 left.
Capeville clearance. Good evening. Berlin 2405 ready for pushback at Bravo 5. Berlin 2405 cleared for pushback. KLM 8668 taxi to gate Charlie 1.
EVA 1905 continue taxi.
Capeville ground. Berlin 2405 ready to taxi.
Capeville ground. EVA 1905 with you.
Berlin 2405 taxi to runway 35 right.
Capeville Tower. EVA 1905 ready for takeoff runway 35 left. EVA 1905 cleared for takeoff runway 35 left.
Korean 9706 cleared to land runway 35 right.
Air India 523 cleared for pushback.
Berlin 2405 cleared for takeoff runway 35 right.
Capeville ground. Air India 523 ready to taxi. Air India 523 taxi to runway 35 left.
Capeville clearance. Good evening, Iroquois 6303. Ready for pushback at Bravo 2.
Air India 523 continue taxi.
Iroquois 6303. Cleared for pushback.
Capeville ground Air India 523 with you.
Korean 9706 taxi to gate Charlie 3.
Air Asia 1264 cleared to land runway 35 right. Air India 523 cleared for takeoff runway 35 left.
Iroquois 6303. Taxi to runway 35 right.
Capeville clearance. Good evening. Dynasty 9949 ready for pushback at Charlie 2.
Finnair 2252 clear to land runway 35 right.
Dynasty 9949 cleared for pushback.
Capeville Tower. Iroquois 6303. Ready for takeoff runway 35 right.
Dynasty 9949 taxi to runway 35 left.
Iroquois 6303. Cleared for takeoff runway 35 right.
Capeville ground Air Asia 1264 requesting taxi to the gates. Air Asia 1264 taxi to gate Bravo 5.
Malaysian 50907 cleared for pushback.
Capeville Tower. Good evening. Delta 2006 is on approach. Delta 2006 cleared to land runway 35 left. Dynasty 9949 continue taxi. Capeville ground. Dynasty 9949 with you.
Capeville ground Finnair 2252 taxi to the gates.
Malaysian 50907 taxi to runway 35 left.
Capeville Tower. Good evening. China Southern 2182 is on approach.
Malaysian 50907 continue taxi.
China Southern 2182 cleared to land runway 35 right.
Capeville ground. Malaysian 50907 with you.
Dynasty 9949 cleared for takeoff runway 35 left.
Finnair 2252 taxi to gate Charlie 2.
Malaysian 50907 cleared for takeoff runway 35 left.
Air India 8243 taxi to runway 35 right.
Capeville ground. Delta 2006 taxi to gate Alpha 5.
Capeville Tower. Good evening. Hainan 90402 is on approach. Hainan 90402 cleared to land runway 35 right.
Air Portugal 3959 cleared for pushback. Capeville Tower. Air India 8243 ready for takeoff runway 35 right. Air Portugal 3959 taxi to runway 35 left.
Air Canada 2322 clear to land runway 35 left.
China Southern 2182 taxi to gate Bravo 4.
Delta 2006 continue taxi.
Suez 5313 cleared for pushback.
Capeville ground. Delta 2006 with you.
Alaska 19908 clear to land runway 35 left. Air India 8243 cleared for takeoff runway 35 right. Capeville Tower. Air Portugal 3959 request to cross runway.
Capeville ground. Suez 5313 ready to taxi.
Avianca 2090 clear to land runway 35 right.
Capeville ground. Air Portugal 3959 with you.
Capeville ground. Hainan 90402 taxi to the gates.
Air Canada 5509 cleared for pushback.
Suez 5313 taxi to runway 35 left.
Capeville Tower. Air Portugal 3959 ready for takeoff runway 35 left.
Hainan 90402 taxi to gate Bravo 2.
Air Portugal 3959 cleared for takeoff runway 35 left.
Gulf Air 6359 cleared for pushback.
Air Canada 5509 taxi to runway 35 left.
Singapore 2696 cleared to land runway 35 right.
Alaska 19908 taxi to gate Alpha 1.
Gulf Air 6359 taxi to runway 35 left. Suez 5313 continue taxi. Capeville ground. Suez 5313 with you.
Capeville ground. Air Canada 2322 with you.
Gulf Air 6359er, continue taxi.
Alaska 19908, continue taxi.
Capeville Ground, Gulf Air 6359er, with you.
Capeville Ground, Alaska 19908, with you.
Gulf Air 6359er, cleared for takeoff runway 35 left.
Air Canada 5509, continue taxi. Capeville Ground, Air Canada 5509, with you.
Swiss 5313, cleared for takeoff runway 35 left.
Air Canada 5509, cleared for takeoff runway 35 left. Copa 3040, cleared to land runway 35 right.
Spinnaker 7349er, cleared for takeoff runway 35 right.
Alaska 19908, hold position.
Avianca 20900, taxi to gate Alpha 3.
Alaska 19908, continue taxi.
Transnorth 1463, taxi to runway 35 left.
Singapore 2696, taxi to gate Charlie 4.
Transnorth 1463, hold position. Transnorth 1463, continue taxi.
Capeville Ground, Copa 3040, requesting taxi to the gates.
Transnorth 1463, cleared for takeoff runway 35 left.
Finnair 6266, clear to land runway 35 right.
Copa 3040, taxi to gate Alpha 4.
KLM 8669er, cleared for pushback. KLM 8669er, taxi to runway 35 left.
Capeville Tower, good evening. Air France 2854 is on approach. Air France 2854, cleared to land runway 35 right.
Copa 3040, continue taxi.
Capeville Tower, KLM 8669er, request to cross runway.
Finnair 6266, taxi to gate Bravo 1.
KLM 8669er, continue taxi. Capeville Ground, KLM 8669er, with you.
Air France 2854, taxi to gate Charlie 1.
Korean 9707, cleared for pushback.
Ural 6220, cleared to land runway 35 right. KLM 8669er, cleared for takeoff runway 35 left.
Capeville Ground, Korean 9707, ready to taxi.
Air France 2854, hold position.
Korean 9707, taxi to runway 35 left.
Air France 2854, continue taxi.
Capeville Tower, Korean 9707, request to cross runway. Korean 9707, continue taxi. Capeville Ground, Korean 9707, with you.
Capeville Ground, Ural 6220, requesting taxi to the gates. Ural 6220, taxi to gate Bravo 3.
Korean 9707, cleared for takeoff runway 35 left.
Finnair 2253, cleared for pushback.
Capeville clearance, Air Asia 1265, ready for pushback at Bravo 5. Air Asia 1265, cleared for pushback.
Finnair 2253, taxi to runway 35 left.
Capeville Ground, Air Asia 1265, ready to taxi. Air Asia 1265, taxi to runway 35 right.
Capeville Tower, Finnair 2253, request to cross runway. Finnair 2253, continue taxi. Capeville ground Finnair 2253 with you.
AirAsia 1265 cleared for takeoff runway 35 right.
EVA 1676 cleared to land runway 35 left.
Finnair 2253 cleared for takeoff runway 35 left.
China Southern 2183 taxi to runway 35 right.
Capitol Tower, good evening. KLM 8874 is on approach. KLM 8874 cleared to land runway 35 right. Delta 2007 cleared for pushback. Capitol ground, Delta 2007 ready to taxi. Delta 2007 taxi to runway 35 left.
Transnorth 7176 clear to land runway 35 right.
Capitol Tower, China Southern 2183 ready for takeoff runway 35 right.
Delta 2007 continue taxi.
Hainan 90403 cleared for pushback.
Avianca 20901 cleared for pushback.
EVA 1676 taxi to gate Charlie 2.
Avianca 20901 taxi to runway 35 left.
Hainan 90403 taxi to runway 35 right.
KLM 8874 taxi to gate Charlie 3.
Capitol clearance Air Canada 2323 ready for pushback at Alpha 2.
China Southern 2183 cleared for takeoff runway 35 right.
Qatari 6524 cleared to land runway 35 right.
EVA 1676 continue taxi. Capeville ground EVA 1676 with you.
Avianca 20901 continue taxi.
Hainan 90403 cleared for takeoff runway 35 right. Swiss 2268 cleared to land runway 35 left.
Capitol ground Avianca 20901 with you. Avianca 20901 cleared for takeoff runway 35 left.
Delta 2007 cleared for takeoff runway 35 left. KLM 8874 hold position.
Air Canada 2323 taxi to runway 35 left.
Transnorth 7176 taxi to gate Charlie 4.
Singapore 2697 taxi to runway 35 left. Singapore 2697 continue taxi.
Alaska 1999 taxi to runway 35 left.
Capitol ground Singapore 2697 with you.
Kestrel 2926 cleared to land runway 35 right.
Singapore 2697 cleared for takeoff runway 35 left. KLM 8874 continue taxi.
Air Canada 2323 cleared for takeoff runway 35 left.
Qatari 6524 taxi to gate Bravo 5.
Capeville ground Swiss 2268 taxi to gate Alpha 1.
Capeville Tower, good evening for Oliviana 8822 Mayday Mayday Mayday.
Capitol Tower, Alaska 1999 ready for takeoff runway 35 left. Capitol clearance Copa 301 ready for pushback at Alpha 4.
Swiss 2268 continue taxi. Capeville ground Swiss 2268 with you.
Kestrel 2926 taxi to gate Alpha 2.
Capitol clearance Finnair 6267 ready for pushback at Bravo 1.
Capeville clearance. Air France 2855 ready for pushback at Charlie 1.
Alaska 1999 cleared for takeoff runway 35 left.
Air France 2855 cleared for pushback.
Copa 301 cleared for pushback.
Finnair 6267 cleared for pushback.
Capeville ground. Air France 2855 ready to taxi.
Copa 301 taxi to runway 35 left.
Air France 2855 taxi to runway 35 left.
Finnair 6267 taxi to runway 35 left. Capeville Tower Finnair 6267 request to cross runway. Finnair 6267 continue taxi. Capeville ground Finnair 6267 with you.
Capeville clearance Ural 6221 ready for pushback at Bravo 3.
Capeville Tower. Good evening. Lufthansa 5340 is on approach.
Air France 2855 continue taxi.
Capeville ground Copa 301 with you.
Capeville ground. Air France 2855 with you.
Copa 301 cleared for takeoff runway 35 left.
Lufthansa 5340 cleared to land runway 35 right.
Capeville Tower. Good evening. Air Astra 1578 is on approach. Air Astra 1578 cleared to land runway 35 left.
Air France 2855 cleared for takeoff runway 35 left.
Finnair 6267 cleared for takeoff runway 35 left.
Ural 6221 taxi to runway 35 right.
Capeville Tower. Good evening. Aeromexico 4678 is on approach. Aeromexico 4678 cleared to land runway 35 right.
Ural 6221 cleared for takeoff runway 35 right.
Lufthansa 5340 taxi to gate Alpha 3.
Inter 944 cleared to land runway 35 right.
Capeville ground. Air Astra 1578 taxi to gate Alpha 4.
Capeville Tower. Good evening. AirAsia 4456 is on approach. AirAsia 4456 cleared to land runway 35 right.
Capeville ground. Aeromexico 4678 requesting taxi to the gates.
FedEx 6730 cleared to land runway 35 right.
Aeromexico 4678 taxi to gate Alpha 5.
Capeville Tower. Air Astra 1578 request to cross runway. Air Astra 1578 continue taxi.
Capeville Tower. Good evening. AirAsia 2720 is on approach. AirAsia 2720 cleared to land runway 35 right.
Capeville ground. Air Astra 1578 with you.
Inter 944 taxi to gate Bravo 1.
Capeville ground. AirAsia 4456 taxi to the gates.
Capeville Tower. Good evening. USA 5134 is on approach. USA 5134 cleared to land runway 35 left.
AirAsia 4456 requesting taxi to the gates.
Capeville ground. FedEx 6730 taxi to the gates.
AirAsia 4456 taxi to gate Bravo 4.
FedEx 6730 taxi to gate Charlie 1. Capeville ground. AirAsia 2720 taxi to the gates.
Air France 9536 cleared to land runway 35 left.
AirAsia 2720 taxi to gate Bravo 3.
Capeville clearance KLM 8875 ready for pushback at Charlie 3.
Transnorth 7177 cleared for pushback.
KLM 8875 cleared for pushback. Capeville ground. USA 5134 taxi to gate Bravo 2.
Capeville clearance EVA 1677 ready for pushback at Charlie 2. EVA 1677 cleared for pushback.
KLM 8875 taxi to runway 35 right.
Singapore 2702 clear to land runway 35 right. Transnorth 7177 taxi to runway 35 right. EVA 1677 taxi to runway 35 right.
Capeville ground. Air France 9536 taxi to the gates.
Capeville clearance. Qatari 6525 ready for pushback at Bravo 5.
Asiana 2522 cleared to land runway 35 left.
Qatari 6525 cleared for pushback.
Capeville clearance Swiss 2269er ready for pushback at Alpha 1. Swiss 2269er cleared for pushback.
Air France 9536 requesting taxi to the gates. Air France 9536 taxi to gate Charlie 2.
Transnorth 7177 cleared for takeoff runway 35 right.
Capital Ground USA 5134 with you.
Lioniter 7434 cleared to land runway 35 left.
KLM 8875 cleared for takeoff runway 35 right.
Qatari 6525 taxi to runway 35 right.
Kestrel 2927 cleared for pushback.
Swiss 2269er taxi to runway 35 right.
Singapore 2702 taxi to gate Charlie 3.
Capeville Tower, Qatar.